Yeah. It always is, it really is. And then it's okay, like if we get like stuck on a thought pattern or we just feel low or contracted, like that's okay too. But it's like the quicker we resolve it or let go, surrendering, allowing spirit to like take care of it, just our energy just is just more ourselves. We're just become more ourselves, really. But it is like a constant flow, a constant process of that.
Does it like in the beginnings when you first like are, you know, developing this way of, I mean, like being more developing this way of being, this new way of being?
Yeah.
Does it feel like for you, did it feel like a lot of work at first and then it didn't? Or
Yeah. I mean, it feels it's kind of relative in that regard. I do believe you need like effort, like you need to put like go all the way in. It's almost like an ego death. Like if you ever had, oh, cool. Okay, so you're asking about how it was in the beginning. Well, yeah, I do feel like there is like a divine timing, but it's like once you have that intention, it's like, all right, you just want truth no matter what. It's like there's almost like a superhero kind of like your higher self is like, yeah, like they'll give you all the resources, but it's like you're still committed to doing the work kind of thing. So it's like it's a little bit of both. Like I do feel like it almost feels like you're dying to the old way, but it's like it's better than living how you used to be living. But you still have to make amends and peace with like how you were thinking before, and like how you were before. Because like there is still yeah conditioning from society, from your family, and like your childhood stuff. So I do feel like it is like it's still a process and it still does take time and energy and kind of like a yeah like a intention to do that, but there's it's like you need joy too. It's like I think you're combining what makes you feel good, and then once you are like tapped into like you're in flow, like you're doing the things you love to do, it also allows you to get downloads from like things that weren't making sense before, and you kind of just reintegrate through that. Because I like right now, I don't feel like there could be a distinction of how it was in the beginning, but even the beginning, I felt like it's just like a process. It's like getting a new job almost. Like you just kind of get used to it, and then like new things open. Like things, it's like they call it like refined perception. So it's like things kind of open up, and then you kind of get used to it, and then more stuff comes in, and you kind of transmute it again. But like the general principles of like transmutation and like then forgiveness is pretty constant. And then of course there's gonna be times where it feels more intense. Because yeah, like it is related to everything. It's like you're connected to everything. And then there is like a collective consciousness coming up. And especially now it feels like you kind of see it right in your face, and more of us are awakening to who we really are. So it's like we all have our choices of like how much intensity we want to go through. And intensity doesn't necessarily like mean that you're going through it, but it's like it is part of the process. Yeah, like I do feel like intensity usually is a sign, but not it's not like it's not something to be attached on. It's like, oh yeah, because that could be a thing too, right? Like I'm attracted to intense feelings or intense spiritual awakening practices.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just like more of like a quality or description.
Yeah, yeah, I noticed, I didn't catch it before, but I noticed that there was this like part of me that, like people saying like you choose like what you want. and I felt this like part, like me being like upset because I was like, whoa, it's not what I want though. Like I don't know. Anyways, I think these days I am starting to notice that I'm starting to notice more things that are coming. Like I don't know if this I can't just I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, it feels like yeah, it feels like it's just like a refined perception. You just notice things more. It's like things you wouldn't notice. And then, like even if you kind of like talk about it, you kind of get scared about talking about it sometimes because like, oh, what would people think about me? But really that's just the same, like condensed vibration of the belief that there's others, people from past experience that can influence how I think, but it really is just like it's all your field. So it's like your yeah, like your thoughts, your perception and sense perception. So definitely, yeah, refined perception. You kind of notice things that are pretty subtle, and then it gets refined more and more.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to find some lightness. I've been so serious about it. Like I've been
Right.
feeling very serious.
Cool.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a divine comedy too. It's like the seriousness is just part of it in a way too. It's like we're so serious about getting it right.
Yeah.
Awakening. Ugh.
I know it feels yeah. I had yeah, I've been noticing a few like conditioning that I have like come up a lot lately. Mainly with money actually, which I feel like I have like a lot of like scarcity. Like I feel like scared or I feel like noticing a lot of scarcity.
Mhm.
And I've noticed some things that I feel like slowly I've been starting to feel more open. Like I think whenever you had texted me, that about like that because I owed you money.
Mhm.
I had money, but for some reason, because the hurricane had just happened, I got scared and I was like, oh my gosh. Um, I heard this voice going like, you need to save your money.
Yeah.
But some other part of me that was not the voice was like, no, like who cares? Like just fucking do it. Just, like give it. So I did. I listened to that voice. I listened to that sensation, and then I got like $100 like right after. He's like, which I was like, what? This was so funny.
Yeah.
Um, I just thought it was so funny. Like I was like, that's. I'm starting to notice. Like I feel like I'm slowly starting to pick up on like this like subtleness. Like my trip to New Orleans, I couldn't leave, and somehow I got the chance. Like I thought I couldn't leave, and I was like really like hung up on like wanting to leave and going to New Orleans. And my roads got like flooded, and all these things happened, and I was just like, okay, I guess I'm not gonna go. Like whatever, like it's fine. Like I have made my peace with it. And the next day, like somebody came and like cut the roads up so we could like leave, and somebody brought me gas like randomly.
Um,
So it's been like I think there's still like a part of me that's trying to believe it all the way. Like it's still like a part that's like, yes, it's like this it's the truth. Like that's the truth, and fully committing to that is what
yeah. Yeah, it's powerful, like truly committed. And yeah, the all inness, it's almost like we're always taken care of. Any sense of like we're gonna die is just the ego. It's like because we can't. It's like literally.